Hey friends, welcome. Thank you for joining me on this video where I'm going to be sharing all about, well, the three things, not all about, the three things that, what did I call this? You need to know to stop being stuck in business. I wrote the title at about 7:30. I'm coming on at 8 o'clock and I went and had dinner and I'm coming back and going, what did I call it again? So those of you who are wanting to grow your business but you're feeling a little bit stuck, if you're feeling stuck and you're kind of not moving forward in terms of growth, it could be revenue, profit, it could be the number of clients, it could be you're getting really stuck in a specific area of your business and you're not moving forward. Maybe you're procrastinating a little bit. Maybe you're doing what I call building half bridges, where you start doing something, you stop, you start something else, you stop, you start something else, you stop, and you've got all these half-built bridges. Maybe you've started writing a book or a podcast, or you've started writing a blog and given up on it, and you've started maybe creating a bit of a social media schedule, but that got too hard. So if you feel stuck in any area of your business where you've come up against this roadblock and it's got too hard, and so you've just kind of come back and tried something else, or maybe you're just not moving at all, maybe you've just stagnated, you've stopped trying because it's just got too hard. Hello, thanks for joining me. Who have we got on here? I can't see you, but hello. So if you are feeling stuck for any reason, I'm going to tell you a quick story because I've been working with a client over the last 3 days and I actually had some really amazing revelations working with her. I worked with her for 16 hours over the last 2.5 days. She flew down from Sydney. Hilary, shout out to you if you're watching this. Had an amazing time with you. She's such a hoot. She's really funny, very smart, savvy woman. She runs a business called Profit by Property, and also she has a group called Property and Bubbles, and we sat in a boardroom and created a whole lot of stuff for her business. You can get a lot done in 16 hours when you have no distractions and have your blinkers on. But I realized what I'm teaching you on this video based on working with her. And these are the three things that you really have to know in your business. If you're getting stuck, if you're coming up against those brick walls, there's probably three things, or one of these three things you're getting stuck on. So I recommend that you write these down, take some notes, because I'm going to dive straight deep into them. So there's three things that are that could be keeping you stuck, but you need to know these three things. The first one is your identity. Now this sounds a little bit funny saying, well, I know who I am, I know my identity, but you can be doing life and business for many, many years and not have clarity on your identity. And this is actually what was happening with Hilary. So the reason that she came to see me and booked out this time is because she had been running all sorts of different Facebook groups and Facebook pages. She had a number of different websites. She's written all these different kind of freebies and ebooks, and she had so much going on and she was overwhelmed and confused and stuck. And really what it came down to is she wasn't clear on her identity. Her partner does property as well, so she's trying to position herself alongside his business, but also not like she's a mom. She is a great mom, a great partner. She's a great friend, and just trying to find her business persona at this particular point in life. So for you, knowing your identity of where you fit in the marketplace, your positioning, how you want to show up, like your branding, your colors, your tonality, and if you don't know that, you're going to keep getting stuck. And there's a few things that can help you figure that out. Because what a lot of coaches teach is you got to know your clients. And I teach this as well. You have to know who your clients are, your ideal clients, so that you can speak to them, right? So when you're putting out content, when you're showing up on video, when you're creating any piece of content for them, you know your audience, you know who you're speaking to. It's so important to identify your dream client, your ideal target market, your micro niche. Super important. But also on the flip side, and something I've really realized over the last 3 days, the importance of this is knowing yourself. And a lot of you watching, you are self-aware. I know a lot of people in this community, you have a lot of self-awareness, you've done a lot of personal development, you've done a lot of work on yourself, you've been to courses, you've been to seminars and workshops, and you've really got to know yourself. But there's often a little bit of a missing identity piece about how to actually show up in the world and be visible. If you find that you're procrastinating on showing up on a Facebook Live, for example, and actually owning what you're talking about, then your identity might not be clear in terms of your topic, who you want to be known for. So for example, I speak on the topic of influence. That's the main topic that I speak about. But under that umbrella of influence, I talk about sales, marketing, presenting, copywriting, mindset. Those are kind of the 5 topics. By copywriting, I mean content creation, influential content, not just writing skills, but actually writing to influence, writing to be a thought leader, writing to actually improve people's lives, help them make changes in their life and take action. So I've kind of got these 5 topics that I rotate around. What's yours? What is your identity? What's your persona out there in the marketplace? Do you know it? Or are you having a little bit of an identity crisis? This is what was happening with my client Hillary. She admitted it and she said she's happy for me to share. She said, I'm having an identity crisis. She's 51. She had created like a little cute avatar of herself. It was super cool, but she'd gone too much on this corporate professional look. And as I got to know her and spent time with her, I said to her, you're all about fun, obviously. You're about connection. You're about variety and change. You're about helping women make things happen, getting out there, doing it. She just lives it. So that is the identity. And I said we need to push that forward out into the marketplace more. We need to add some splash of you, really bringing to life who you are in your content. So it's not just teaching 3 steps. It's not just teaching how to. It's actually bringing you out into the forefront. It's showing up and doing a video. It's showing up and potentially running a live event, like a free meetup or running a free workshop or running a paid workshop. It's these types of things. If you have any kind of fear about doing it, often it's an identity issue. It's a self-image issue. You're not clear on your self-worth. You're not clear on the value that you offer people. You don't really fully realize how valuable and brilliant you are. And so you're resisting pushing that forward and actually being visible out there. So you're becoming self-conscious. You're thinking about what you look like, about whether people are judging you, whether people aren't going to understand you or aren't going to show up, or that what you've got to offer is not good enough. Does anyone relate to any of what I'm saying? Because I know I certainly did. Certainly struggled with it. Haven't come completely out the other side. Always work to do, right? Constant and never-ending improvement. But your identity in the marketplace, this is the entrepreneurial journey. Your identity needs to move from worrying about what people think to knowing that you've got a valuable message and getting it out there. So it's really journeying from avoiding looking bad, fearing what people think, scared of judgment, to going, hey, I'm showing up, I'm giving value, and I'm owning that identity of who I am, being yourself. So that is number 1. I just want to acknowledge those of you who have joined me live. Hi, Briar. I couldn't see you before. It was being blocked, but I've just opened that thing. I don't know if you're Briar or Shannon, but hello. Hi, Paul. Hi, Adriana. Hi, Andrea. And hi, Piera. Hello. Thanks for joining me live. And shout out to you guys watching the replay. So I'd love it if you could put #live in the comments so I know that you're there, and #replay if you're watching this on the replay. I always love to know who's here, where you're from, and just say a little hello. That's what would help me out. Hello, thanks for the love. I really appreciate it. I can see you guys coming through now. Awesome. It just makes it feel less like a monologue and more real life, that this is actually being absorbed by someone. Okay, so number 1's identity. It's a big one. Number 2 is you need to know your values. A lot of you do know your values. You've done some values work. You know what's important to you. But have you refreshed them lately? Have you sat down and said, what is most important to me in life in 2020? Because your values change over time, right? So what you valued 5 years ago, you might not value now. They might not, you still might value it, but it might not be in your top 5. So for example, if you are a new mum, maybe 5 years ago you weren't a mum and family didn't fit in the top 5. Maybe it was success or achievement, but now that you're a mum, you've got that as a higher value. Maybe you've recently decided to take up a health kick, and I don't know why we call it a kick, a healthy lifestyle, and you're eating whatever, clean, paleo, whatever you've chosen, and that wasn't in your top 5 values 5 years ago. You were more about fun and partying. So as we evolve, right, our values shift. So if you haven't sat down and written your values lately, I highly recommend it, and you simply ask yourself this question: what is most important to me in life? And you just start listing it out, brain dump it out. Family, health, spirituality, faith, exercise, love, connection, contribution, creativity, freedom, adventure, success, whatever it is. Just write a big list and then start basically pipping them off each other. What's more important to me, this or this? Okay, that goes higher. What's more important to me, this or this? That goes higher. I love doing this with my clients, and I love doing it with a friend or a coach because it's really cool to talk it out rather than just get into too much logic. So when you really feel in your body what's most important to me, like for example, my number 1 value is freedom. The reason I know it's freedom is because I don't have a job. I'm not tied down. I'm not committed to anything really at the moment. I'm committed to showing up on a Wednesday night for you guys. It's probably the level of commitment, the biggest level of commitment I have. I really resist having to, what's the word? I'm a true entrepreneur. So that freedom piece is so important to me, and you can see in my lifestyle, in my diary, in my calendar, in my house. It all has that kind of lifestyle. I have an apartment near the city. I don't have a mortgage. So I'm not saying that you're not free if you have a mortgage. Trust me, like that is not what I think. But that if I said to you, my highest value is freedom, yet I'm in a job that's 9 to 5, I don't like it and I can't leave and I feel stuck, then you can see that there's incongruency. If you say, oh, in my top 5 values is spirituality, and I said to you, well, how much time do you actually spend on that every week? And you said, oh, maybe like half an hour a week. It's probably not in your top values. So you know your values based on what you spend your time on, what you spend your money on, what you spend your energy on, and look at your friends and your surroundings. That will show you your values. If you've got trophies, like I've got trophies because achievement's one of my high values. If you've got certificates, if you've got accolades, then maybe achievements and success is quite high in your values. If you've got photos of your family everywhere, maybe family's a little bit higher in your values. You can see by my bookshelf here that personal development and growth and learning is in my top 5 values. When I realized that I was in a job that was not fulfilling any of my top 5 values, that's when I quit. I was like, well, I'm not progressing and growing. There's no variety and change, which I love. There's no kind of sense of fun and adventure. There's no progress. I don't feel like I'm improving. I can't be creative in this job. That's in my top 5. When you know your values, and when you know them, like really know them, you'll do your whole business according to your values. It is a game changer. So when Hillary arrived from Brisbane and we booked out a boardroom and we sat there and we got creative, when we got big paper and we started strategizing and writing her vision, I said, write your values up on the whiteboard. And that was one of the first things I got her to do is I want to know your values. Recognition. It's like, right, well, we can't have you in the background. We need you out there in front of people live. Hers was fun. Okay, how can we make your brand more fun? How can we make you pop in your brand, in your business? what else was her health? So really high value of hers. So when we were mapping out her ideal week and her strategy, we had to block out time for health, meal prep, exercise. So values, I just kept coming back to those values when we're creating the vision, the plan, the goals, the strategy. Super important. Hello, those of you who've joined me. Who have we got on here? Hi, Chrissy. Good to see you on here. Hi, Lauren. Hello in the UK. Hi, Christina in New Zealand. I love that you're from other countries. How's it going? How's the weather over there? Hope it's not too cold in the UK. We're pretty hot here coming into cooler months. Anyway, we are at number 2. So the first one is you've got to know your identity. Super important. You've got to know your values. Number 3, you've got to know your strategy. You've got to have a strategy, because otherwise you're going to be caught up in all these distractions. Shiny object syndrome, right? SOS. Now we all do it because marketing is designed to distract us. We've got pingings and notifications and all sorts of things coming at us. It's set up by design. We've got to be super, super intentional to stop the noise, to shut ourselves away, do whatever it takes to stop the stimulation and focus on the strategy. When you've got a clear strategy, an overarching strategy of what you're doing in your business this quarter, and it's broken down into milestones and clear action steps, you'll have your blinkers on, and obviously you've got to keep using your discipline and your willpower and your decision muscle to still, ignore the distractions. But it's so much easier once you've got a strategy. If you don't have a clear strategy, and by that I mean, what are you focusing on this month? If I said to you, if we had a conversation one-on-one right now and I said, hey, what's your strategy for March? You'd say, it's this, this, and this. Okay, cool. What are your 3 action steps for this week? 1, 2, 3. Cool. What's your action steps for tomorrow? 1, 2, 3. It's all clear. You know what you're doing. So if someone invites you to do something, no, I'm here. I've sat down, I've worked out my strategy, and I'm not going to get distracted by all this other stuff. With Hillary, she's half written a book. She's got a whole heap of podcast episodes that she hasn't uploaded yet. She wants to do an online course. She wants to run speaking events. There's about 8 things. So we had to draw out her year and actually put them into month by month. So now she knows it. We take those 3 things that she's doing each month and created a strategy. Okay, what's first, what's second, what's next? What's your lead generation strategies? What is your marketing strategy? What's your sales process strategy? Every part of your business needs a strategy, needs a system. It clears your brain. Your brain is not to try and remember and think about all the loose ends and the open loops. Your brain is meant to be creative and to really strategically think. So you've got to clear all that stuff out. Know your values, know who you are and who you want to show up in the world, which is you, right? Being yourself, one of the hardest things to actually do. But knowing what part of yourself you want to show to the world, because you don't have to show everything, but going, okay, this is who I am in business, I'm going to stick to that, and then I've got my clear strategy. Values, identity, strategy. Game changer, people. If you want to know more about how to actually do this, I'd love to have a chat with you. I've got a really full-on 2 weeks, but there's a couple of spaces in my calendar. If you want to squeeze in a chat, I'd love to talk to you about this because it's massive. Sarah Lake, hello, how are you? Hi Lenny, how you doing? That's a monologue. I just want to sit down and have a coffee with all of you and have a chat. So book a chat with me if you can find a space. Because a lot of times this stuff you need to actually talk through with someone, and you need for an expert to pull the right answers out of you. And for Hillary, it took us 16 hours, but we got there. We've got an amazing master plan. It doesn't have to take 16 hours. We did a whole lot of work as well. But it's not something like, oh yeah, done that, done. It actually takes some soul searching, some digging, some working through some limiting thoughts and stories. So I'd love to do that with you. There's absolutely no pitch or anything like that. I literally just love talking to people like you and I've put the link there, who are serious about moving forward in their business and stopping being stuck. You know, stop that procrastination, stop all the half-built bridges, and get a bridge fully all the way over. People don't pay for half-built bridges, they pay for fully built bridges all the way the other side. So if you want to talk values, identity, strategy, or anything else about business or life, maybe not dating, but everything else. Well, yeah, business is good. Business and mindset, that's my jam. That is my Genius Zone. Book yourself in, and I look forward to having a chat with you soon. Thanks for joining me. Those of you who are on here live, please write a comment. What was your favorite thing about what I shared? And what are you going to take action on? Most importantly, based on everything I shared today, what are you actually going to take action on? I would love to hear. I personally reply to every single comment, so post below. Give me some love, and I'll look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye, guys.